The Atlanta Hawks made a trade in the 2019 NBA draft. Before this day began, the Atlanta Hawks were set to dominate the 2019 NBA draft. And I think they can still dominate the NBA draft, despite not having the quality draft picks and the quantity draft picks. I think the Atlanta Hawks can still dominate if they draft the right quality here. And I think the Hawks are off to a good start in DeAndre Hunter. Today, the Atlanta Hawks made a trade into the number 4 spot in tonight's NBA draft. And on behalf of the Los Angeles Lakers, the Atlanta Hawks have acquired DeAndre Hunter out of Virginia. And DeAndre Hunter was one of those prospects that I had my eye on. He was one of them that I wanted to begin this process because DeAndre Hunter has already demonstrated that he has the clutch gene for being in the NBA. Because in the NBA, a lot of your clutch genes are how you perform in high-pressure situations. And I look at the national championship game this past April against Texas Tech. DeAndre Hunter had 27 points in that game, and that included the game-tying three-pointer in regulation to send the game into overtime. So I like this pick with DeAndre Hunter. He was at the bottom of that prospect wish list, but that was only because I thought the Hawks were going to keep their draft picks. Because going into it, they had picks 8, 10, and 17, 3 first-round draft picks, and they were set to dominate the draft. But they can still dominate it. So I'm looking at this trade with the Pelicans. Before I get into that, the Atlanta Hawks, they have dealt a lot of draft picks in the last day and a half. Yesterday, they dealt a second-round pick to the Miami Heat. Today, they dealt a second-round pick to the Golden State Warriors. And about an hour or two before the draft began, the Atlanta Hawks, they traded the picks number 8 and 17 to the Pelicans for pick number 4. So I'm not going to overreact to it like some people might, but I'm looking at it as glass half empty, glass half full type of situation. The glass half full. They still have the 10th pick in this draft. So they still get 2 top 10 picks. Just what they were looking for to begin with, I think. Because my first impression after the draft lottery was with the Hawks having picks 8 and 10, I thought it was going to be a little bit of a reach for them to stick with those picks. I didn't think there was going to be any way they were going to want to make 2 draft picks that close to each other. So that makes sense that they did. I think this trade was the best trade they can do. I thought they would trade up at first, but then I thought maybe it wouldn't be the right move. Maybe it would be right again, depending on who they got. But I think this is a smart move for the Hawks. Like I said, I'm looking at it as glass half full, glass half empty situation. It's empty because they don't get 3 first-round picks. But it's glass half full because they get 2 top 10 picks like they would have if they wouldn't have made the trade with either Brooklyn to get that 17th pick as well. So they used that to their advantage. They took that 17th pick and they were able to use it to trade up to 4. So they still get 2 top 10 picks. And I'm looking forward to seeing who that 10th pick is going to be for the Hawks. I think the Hawks are off to a good start in this draft with DeAndre Hunter. Like I said, I like the clutch gene that he has. My favorite moment of him was that national championship game. It showed that he has the clutch gene for the NBA. And hopefully the 10th pick is going to be Gogo Biatse. That's someone that I was really hoping the Hawks would take. Like I said last night, I think there's a 1 in 4 shot that Biatse is going to be that 10th pick. So I will be back to react to the 10th pick.